Hello everyone, in front of the Father here, and Knights of Naberus is upon us. So I'm gonna go show you what Knights of Naberus is, and then I'll give my opinions basically on the event. So let us go to Deimos, where Knights of Naberus takes place. So now that we are here, all we need to go is talk to daughter. I do have audio turned off for words, so they will not interrupt. Basically, this is Naberus. This is their version of Halloween, and they give you a bunch of rewards. There are some new things today, so I will show you everything right now. Firstly, they have Naberus Ephemera, which is basically a bunch of bats that comes out. I love it. The Graham Dead of the Day of the Dead skin. Actually like the coloring a lot. The Bosmu Day of the Dead skin as well, which is really good. As well as the Bosmu blueprint and Seti Lacera blueprint. Both are really nice weapons. Bosmu was a lot better before they nerfed how the killing worked, or patched it, so it was broken originally, but still really good gun. Same with Seti Lacera. The Ballroom Simulacrum, which is basically a fancy simulacrum if you are tired of the original one. The Stink Eye Naberus Glyph, which I think it looks pretty good. Same with the Rotting Naberus Glyph, I like that as well. And the Grape Skull. I think Stink Eye is my favorite out of the three. The Hallows Eve color palette is really good. I use this for quite a few Warframes. Day of the Dead Necromech skin. I think I used a different type of skin, but I really like these little skulls. It's cute. The Grim Grin Naberus sigil. Pretty good. Hard to see on Ember because she is so small built, but decent. The Noggle statue for Stalker. Really enjoyed this. Big old bobblehead. Whispering Naberus Mobile, handcrafted by Grandmother. This macabre ornament tells a special story for Naberus Night. Get comfortable and listen. Well, I will actually show the story before I give my opinions on the event, so stay tuned for that. Spinneret Ephemera, Rogue I'm not reading that. Basically, it gives you these spiderwebs. Actually, I really like the coloring of the spiderwebs for the synergy. That purple looked great. The Naberus Ephemera, basically demon wings. It really reminds me of Jeepers Creepers. I use this on my Zaku for my Halloween theme for him. The Sheev blueprint, which I'm not sure this is one of the only events you can get Sheev in. It might be. I think this is a specialty weapon for just events, so definitely something to get. The Revenant Vanya helmet, which I think it looks pretty good. Prime is definitely better in my opinion. The Kyrtos Sugatra I forgot it's that glitch skin. Sugatra does look decent if you could see in that giant thing. Revenant in action glyph, so a little profile picture for your account. The haunted interior decorations. I might use this. I like all the pumpkins. The Jackonaut statue. I kind of wish we had this boss to deal with. The Sheev hilt, as well as the Sheev blade and Sheev heatsink, so you can actually build the Sheev and not just stare at the blueprint in your inventory. The Gamcore Day of the Dead skin for the Gamcore. I really like Gamcore, it's a good weapon. The Luanites glyph. That's actually really nice. Whoever made that did really well. We have the Frightening Flock emblem, the Taunting Tam emblem, the Hounding Kubro sigil, and the Somber Stalker sigil. Looks a lot. It's easier to see them here, ironically. We also have Arlo's Flame decoration. This is for the second Nightwave when they had stories. It's basically an infested story. It's kind of interesting. They also have the Noggles for Arlo, the male devotee, and the female devotee. So they all have little Arlo's Flame. They're also giving out Vile Discharge. Damages accumulated up to 30,000. Using alt fire to launch an explosive Vile Sack, dealing and resetting the accumulated damage on Embless. Sounds kind of interesting. I might have to give that a try. And then Sentient Surge. Each target eliminated refills 20% of Occucore's magazine. Stash chance and critical chance are increased by 60% for each tendril active on Occucore. This is a must-have mod for Occucore. This is great. For emblems and glyphs, we have the Dagoth emblem. I think that looks pretty good. Hard to see here. The Dagoth Grins glyph. The Dagoth Accuser glyph. That one looks really good. This one's not bad. The Daughter Naberus glyph. This is cute. The Hero Conjuring glyph. The Zaku Spellcast glyph. That is nice. The Ignis Day of the Dead Skin. Very nice. Remember when Ignis was meta? The Wild Hunt Totem. Pretty much just decoration for your ship. The Ecu Claw skin. Very interesting. The Saturn 6 Day of the Dead shoulder plates. Not bad. Could be better. And then Saturn 6 Day of the Dead chest plate. I kind of like that. Decent. And then the knee plates for the Saturn 6 Day of the Dead. They're kind of bulky, but decent. Same with the chest plate, unfortunately. Oh, Saturn 6 Day of the Dead Sindana. Oh, I always feel gypped when Sindanas are really small instead of blowing all the way down. They also have Shroud of Dinar Sigil. It's pretty cool. Araxian Action Glyph. Nice. The Mistress of Fear poster. I'm going to have to buy that. As well as Lacera Scorn skin. Ooh, the shock is really nice. Alright. And that is pretty much all the event. If you go to Mother, there are no specialty bounties. For Day of the Dead is pretty much simply just a buy everything you can. With that being said, we're going to go head back to the Orbiter and I can show you the little thing for Grandmother. Alright, so I'm going to stop talking because here's the decoration that they sell for the event. It is actually a story that Grandmother tells, so I will play the story right now and then afterwards I'll give my opinions on Naberus.
Would you like to hear a story for Naberus? One that I told my grandchildren when they were small. Very well. Long ago, in the Orokin days, a golden people lived in spoiled luxury. If a body wore out, why, they would take a new one as easily as plucking a maprico. Such was the mystery of the Kuva. So, what became of death and disease? Oh, they were abundant, but not for the Orokin. They were above petty death. Such was their contempt that they decreed a special day on which to make fun of it. On Naberus, the night of memory, the shining people laughed at death. They dressed in costumes that recalled the old days of mortality. Skulls grinned, hallways guttered with demon lights. For one night, beauty was banished, rot and monstrosity held sway. Now, on one very special Naberus, 3 pretty Orokin were bored, as Orokin so often were. Naberus no longer holds its magic for me, sighed one. Masks and costumes are for children, grumbled another. Why follow the crowd, mused the third. Are we not the very elite of the elite? Ha ha! Up, my Kissingtons, my luscious loves. Send for blue Kuva and hot lights. I have a sport that will mend all. And in the corridor, behind a curtain, a solitary silent girl heard them and said nothing. Then the three were very wicked. For what do you think they did? Down into the streets they went, and they caught 3 poor ostrons and bore them back to their gilded halls. One they peeled like a fruit and decked out with glassy splinters, and his naked jaws went chitter-chatter-snap. And it echoed all around. Scarlet footprints he left. Another's limbs they twisted and wrenched his neck, and made a bundle of him until he scuttled upsy-downsy like a horrid crab, with his sockets all empty and his stretched-out nose snuffling. The third they pulled thin in hand and foot. She walked spindly-wise on long tiptoes like a spider, and her entrails hung delicately down. She whispered, split-tongued and hissing as she went. "Fine costumes we've made," chortled the 3 Oregon. "Let us now try them on and visit our friends. What shrieking there will be! Oh, our names will live forever in the court for such a prank as this." Now, the silent girl brought them their blue couver, so they could take on these twisted bodies for only a short time before returning to their own. They drank and slept and woke in their 3 horrid forms. Off they went down the stairs, out the door, into the city, into the night of banners and masks and wild hilarity. Chitter-chatter-snap, scuttle-buttle, whispery-hispery. As you can imagine, there were many screams and laughs. Such cleverness, such wit. But in a high room of the tower, the silent girl looked at the faces of the 3 sleeping Oregon. She went and opened a little ivory door that she was not supposed to know about, and drew forth a flask that she would have been glassed for even looking at. A flask of crimson couver, the scarlet seal upon continuity, permanent. And she tipped it down 3 cruel throats. With a little laugh, she went skating away, never to return. There were many screams that Naberus night, but when the sun came up, none screamed so loud as the 3 who found that they were trapped in the hideous bodies they themselves had fashioned forever and ever. So, listen carefully, Tenno, and beware, for you may hear them coming tonight. Whispery-hispery on long stalking bones, scuttle-buttle with his eyes all empty, and skinless, dripping-handed, chitter-chatter-snap. Happy Naberus!
And that is the story. Kind of an interesting little thing. So my thoughts on Naberus are this. I do like some of the decorations and stuff you can get. I actually, speaking of that, will... How would I equip this? Is it Orbiter? Oh yeah. Would be probably here. Yes, here we go. So I do like this stuff. I think it's pretty good. My only complaint really is that there's really not much to do other than buying stuff. I really wish there was a mission of some type that you could do for a little bit, even if it's just one simple mission that you can repeat. I miss the old Halloween back when they had that one
Do you remember the
little mission you do with the Juggernaut with the pumpkin hat on. I really enjoyed that. I hope they bring that back at some point or incorporate it somehow into Naberus. I'd even like to see these things actually maybe run through whatchamacallit, Deimos at some point. I think that'd be really interesting if you're doing a bounty and all of a sudden you see one of these things just scurry along into a cave and you lose it. Kind of as if their ghost is still among you or something. I think it'd be nice. Either way, the event's not bad. I do wish there was more to it other than just being a window shop, but all in all, decent. Let me know what you think down below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. That being said, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone, take care all. Peace.